while consulting is a profession which is being consisting of consultants, correct? And today the definition of consultant has grossly changed over a period of time. When I go and talk to my real estate broker, he calls himself as a real estate consultant. He doesn't call himself as a broker anymore because he feels that consultant is sort of little more upmarket, flashy, and sort of gets him the premium that he looks at, right? So it's all about premiumness, one. The second is, as a consultant, what is it that you do? As a consultant, what is it that you do is very simple stuff, which is primarily monetize your capabilities. So the question here is, how do you go and build your capabilities? How do you go build yourself a brand? And then how do you monetize that particular brand? So two things we have sort of seen so far. One, what is a consultant? Two, how do we define a consultant, correct? Which is primarily about monetizing your skills and capabilities. So if you look at the consulting ecosystem, while today we are going to be focusing on the big four, it's a very broad ecosystem, correct? If you take only management consulting or business consulting as a space, on one end of the spectrum, you have the MBB firms. At the other end of the spectrum, you have a lot of these boutique companies based out of tier 2, tier 3 cities doing strategy consulting for 2 clients, 3 clients sort of stuff, right? And if you look at the commonality in all of them are going back to the same thing, which is you having a network, you having a skill, you monetizing your skill in your network. As simple as that. In larger organizations like the NDBs and the PwC, there is definitely a brand, there is a procedure, there is a methodology, there is a framework, there is a way to the madness in some sense. But if you really look at it, all of these are, at the end of the day, a bunch of partners who have come together to run the firm, right? It is not like a corporate like an IBM or a Microsoft or a Google or anything like that. So effectively, each country owns its own partnership. And people like me who used to be a partner, used to be an investor in the firm. And we used to sell and deliver business to our clients. And for that, we used to pay royalty to the global entity. And global entity usually in Big Four is a notional entity, which actually owns all the IP and all of that stuff. So effectively, from a taxation standpoint, they want to show that there is an entity and that's why you pay royalty and all of that, correct? And historically, if you look at Big Four, they actually started with audit as their base services. Then over a period of time, they brought in a lot of adjacencies, which is like tax and all of that. Then they started providing a lot of complementary and supplementary services, including management strategy, business strategy, entry strategy, technology consulting, and all of that. So if you look at Big Fours ideally are a jack of all. So if you want to do management consulting, technology consulting, business consulting, operations consulting, all of that under one roof, then I don't think so today there are too many options other than the Big Four, Big Five, Big Six, whatever you want to call them, correct? Because traditionally we keep calling them as four, but you also have the other players, correct? The BDOs and the Grant Thorntons of this world. So I would say still Big Six in some sense. They may not be as big as the four, but even within the four, the difference between 1, 2, and 3 and 4 is quite substantial, correct? So if you look at the annual revenues, you will see that Deloitte, EY, and PwC is a substantial leader, and KPMG is a distant fourth in some sense. So, but anyway, 4 or 6, however you want to call it, we will call it.